Thank you. I am going to take things a little bit out of order here and pass the gavel to Mr. Najarian, if he will so accept it, for some new business, the announcement I think everyone's been waiting for. I would like to move that pursuant to Article 9, thank you, Section 1 of the Glendale City Charter, Scott Ochoa is hereby appointed as the City Manager of the City of Glendale effective January 3rd, 2012. The City Attorney is hereby directed to submit the proposed City Manager employment agreement for Council consideration and approval on November 8th, 2011.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Oh, I think this is your call.
Unless you want your gavel back.
I've
got to see it to the end. Thank you. We have a motion and a second to nominate Mr. Ochoa as our new city manager. Is there any discussion? And I have no cards on the subject, remarkably.
Well, it wasn't agendized, that's why, probably.
Well, it was a closed session item. And I will open this up to comments from my colleagues after this vote is taken. Roll call, please.
Council members Manukian?
Yes.
Najarian?
Yes.
Quintero?
Yes.
Weaver?
Aye.
Mayor Friedman?
Yes.
A round of applause.
Will the new city manager stand up so people know who you are?
Well, I'm going to invite him. Actually, I'm going to
Okay.
invite him up in just a moment. First, I wanted to just make a few comments to introduce him to the community and to let my colleagues speak. First, let me say that I'm very proud of the City Council for their very serious and very rigorous deliberations. I am very happy that we made a decision that was unanimous and I believe enthusiastic on all parts. I am very pleased to announce that we've selected Scott Ochoa as our new city manager. Scott's credentials, his values, his experience, his multidimensional understanding of local government and municipal operations impressed us all. We were also very impressed by his involvement in his community with many charitable organizations, and we are also very enthusiastic about his enthusiasm and his fresh outlook. As Scott accepts his position, he leaves a legacy with the City of Monrovia, where he has been involved since 1993, when he first became an intern. Upon graduation with a Bachelor of Arts in Government from Claremont McKenna College, Scott became a full-time city employee. He demonstrated his abilities and desire to excel through the City of Monrovia as he continued his advanced education. He completed a master's degree at the USC School of Public Administration. He took on increased responsibilities after his master's and rose up quickly through the ranks. In 1999, he was appointed Assistant City Manager. Through his unceasing aspirations to improve himself and the community around him, he exhibited the characteristics needed to become the City Manager of Monrovia in 2004. Scott's years as the City Manager of Monrovia made obvious the outstanding work ethic as well as his investment in the community. While in Monrovia, he managed an aggressive economic development program, worked to balance quality of life issues with fiscal constraints and development pressure, and restructured the organization to meet the challenges of the rapidly changing business environment. His management philosophy is predicated on values-based management, exceptional customer service, and precision execution. His credentials, values, and multidimensional understanding of municipal issues and government make him the perfect candidate for taking Glendale to the next level of excellence. We are ecstatic to welcome such a reputable and dynamic individual as our new city manager. And I would just like to take a moment to read from his resume a few of his accomplishments that I thought were especially germane to Glendale. And what was interesting for me personally going through this process was in looking at what Scott has done in Monrovia, realizing that many times the size of a city does not tell the whole story of the challenges that a city faces. And in Monrovia, they have faced a lot of challenges, and Scott has led them through, I think, very, very well. In terms of finance, he had a lot of, I believe, very fresh and interesting ideas. In Monrovia, he integrated an ongoing strategic planning and performance measurement efforts into a 2-year budget adoption process, including leadership assessments, productivity index, and strategic and stretch goal achievement. In terms of quality of life, he utilized quinennial citizen satisfaction surveys as well as the web-based Thriving Neighborhood Survey to gauge public support, direction, and evaluation of city programs and services. With economic development and housing, he negotiated a $66.83 million Gold Line foothill extension, which, if any of you know Monrovia, will be extremely important to the future of that city. It's something that I wish that we could have in Glendale. In terms of infrastructure maintenance, he completed capital replacement and rehabilitation projects, including the Monrovia Fire Station No. 1, Corporation Yard Facility, and Library Park Hardscape and Playground. I've been to Monrovia several times over the last few years, and their new library and their new park is really quite an accomplishment and something very beautiful in their downtown. With employees, he initiated employee mentoring program, as well as implementing a continuous improvement employee evaluation system. With public safety, and this was one of the most interesting things to me, I didn't realize this, but Monrovia has faced some very serious challenges in terms of gang violence. And that city really led the way in terms of gang injunctions, but also by creating a dialogue with the youth who were feeling disenfranchised in a neighborhood that was feeling disenfranchised and making them part of the process. And by doing both the enforcement as well as the more proactive approach of reaching out to this neighborhood and to the youth in the neighborhood in particular, they were able to really turn that problem around. And that's something that's very impressive. So I'm sure we'll be learning a lot more about Scott as time goes by, and I will give him a chance to speak, but I would like to ask my colleagues to weigh in. Mr. Manoukian.
Madam Mayor, thank you. And I would like to also join Mayor Friedman in welcoming you to the city. And through our discussions with you, what was outstanding for me was your level of involvement and proactivity with the employees and the community, and that's commendable. And as the mayor said, there's many accomplishments. I would like to congratulate you, congratulate your family as well, and welcome you to the Glendale family. So, welcome aboard.
Senator Najarian?
I also would like to welcome you, Scott, our new city manager, starting in a few weeks. And it was certainly a great experience interviewing you. However, it was a very tough decision. We had some excellent candidates before us, and that's what made it quite a achievement, I think, for all of us on the City Council to sit down with an open mind and review in detail and really analyze every candidate's strengths and weaknesses. I'd like to thank the members of the public who weren't shy in giving us their opinion as to who should or should not be the city manager. I think we are now turning the page. The Starbird era, we're leaving the Starbird era, as sad as that seems, as almost as inconceivable as those words seemed maybe as short as a few months ago. Every city must move forward, must grow, must evolve and develop, and I'm very confident that Scott Ochoa will be able to lead us in our new challenges.
Mr. Quintero.
I also want to congratulate Scott and the entire family that's here, his wife, his two good-looking kids, and his parents. I just want to briefly talk a little bit about the process, since, as Mr. Najarian mentioned, we had plenty of input from the public, not all of it positive, in my opinion. We selected a placement person, and he is a professional who, just to give you an idea of this gentleman's credentials, he's placed approximately 500 professional executive level types of candidates, over 3,000 in the senior level recruitment. He's placed city managers in Phoenix, Arizona, Bakersfield, Riverside, Glendale, San Jose, Santa Ana, Miami, Florida, Minneapolis, Kansas City, Charlotte, Las Vegas, on and on, Dallas, Texas, you name it. So this is someone who's worked in this field. He's literally the dean. He even placed Peter Uberoth at the Olympics years ago. This is a professional person that we hired to do the job. Approximately 30 candidates, 12 were city managers here in Southern California and perhaps even the rest of the state, and half of the applicants were not city managers. They were department heads, assistant city managers, etc. But in fact, we whittled it down to 5. We were given this interview report on the different candidates where they wrote or answered different questions and so forth. Then we basically asked all of the candidates the same questions and then followed up with different questions depending on what they said. So I guess I'm saying all of this so that then I personally took all of these notes. These are Mr. Ochoa's notes and then the other candidates. So what I'm saying is that it was a fair process without question. Everyone got to compete who was at this level of executive talent, and out of all of those people, this gentleman was the winner. So I think it says something about his background, his achievements, and obviously something about what we think he's going to do to take this city forward to the next step. So I'm looking forward to working with him. I'm looking forward to having his 2 kids hanging here with the Glendale teenager and his parents coming to spend money here in Glendale. But it's a great day for the city, and I'm very, very happy today.
Thank you. Mr. Weaver?
Well, I guess I'm the only person sitting around that voted to bring Jim Starbird here. I hate to see Jim go. He's been a very good friend. Regardless of what some of the stakeholders have said, Jim has done a magnificent job for Glendale and the state of California through the redevelopment agency and the other task jobs that he has held. Will be missed. And now I have voted for his replacement. Kind of unique to now spend a few years with him. The only thing I'd say about his background, it stuck with me when I read, after we thought we had the man, we did background checks. And we talked to a number of executives, officials in Monrovia area. One statement stuck out to me. It said, if someday he was sick and tired of Glendale and he wanted to come back to Monrovia, would you take him? And the response was, in a heartbeat. That tells me a lot. He's extremely well liked in his community, and I know what they must be going through now, knowing they have to go find a replacement for him. It won't be easy. As my colleagues have said, it's just too bad that so many people in the community wanted to tell us what to do, thinking the fix was in, all this different talk. You didn't believe that the 5 of us could sit down and do what we thought was the best for this city. We think we've done it, and Mr. Ochoa, don't expect miracles. It's going to take, he's moving from a small city, smaller than us, to Glendale. It's going to take him time. It might take him a year to get his hands around this. He'll have 18 executives reporting to him here. In Monrovia, I think it was 6, 7. So it's a total different ball game, but we confidently feel he's up to doing it. So I'm happy to have him here, and we'll get you kids into school here too. We've got a good school system. So congratulations, Scott. It'll be fun working with you.
Thank you. Mr. Starbird?
Madam Mayor, members of the council, thank you very much. I find myself in a unique position that I've never been in before, frankly. I have left other cities, but I've never had my successor actually be appointed before I have physically left. In this case, I feel a sense of envy. I've chosen willingly to retire, and yet I envy Scott Ochoa in many ways. He's inheriting a tremendously effective policy group in the City Council. You all are guided by your heart and what you feel is in the best interest of the community. And that is the first and foremost requirement for a quality community, which Glendale is. Secondly, he's inheriting an organization that is second to none. This is a group of people that, frankly, before I came here, was dedicated to Glendale. After coming here, all I had to do was to continue to support the values that they already had instilled in them, to be committed to the community and work hard and do their very best. And this community does that in every department, day in and day out. The management team I put second to none. The executive team is the best I've worked with in my 40 years in local government. And I've encouraged Scott to look to them for their guidance and support. With your support, with their support, I have no doubt in my mind that Scott will be a tremendously successful city manager and continue to accomplish things that will lead Glendale forward and continue to be the premier city that it is. So I welcome him. If there's anything I can do to support him as he makes a transition, he will have Yasmin Beers as assistant, who I know is ready and able to provide him all the support she can. Michelle Pashai, my secretary, who is ready to provide him with all the support that he needs. And this organization of 1,900 people who serve the 200,000 people of Glendale, I know with his leadership will continue to do well. So I'm here another month. I'm not gone yet. December 2nd is my last day. And woe be it to anybody who says I have left already or don't care, because I really do. But I look forward to this transition, both for myself but also for Glendale, and I'm happy to see someone of Scott's caliber be able to step into this position. Scott, congratulations.
So, Scott, why don't you come up and introduce yourself to the community?
Good evening, Madam Mayor. May it please the City Council. I am both excited and very humbled to be here before you, and I am truly grateful for the honor that you have bestowed upon me. Glendale is a wonderful and dynamic community and very diverse, and this organization matches that. I look forward to a very long and effective tenure as your new city manager. That said, I must acknowledge the contributions and career of your retiring city manager, Mr. Jim Starbird. Jim is a consummate professional, and he is admired and much respected by his peers up and down the state of California. Truly, I can become your new city manager, but I cannot replace Jim Starbird, and nor would I try. Instead, I will focus on the organization you and he have created and endeavor to find new opportunities to pioneer new ground and to create new value. Given the professionalism, expertise, and creativity of your employees and the management team, I have great confidence that through your vision, we will continue to keep Glendale as a premier city, as Jim has outlined and highlighted, and to be a leader among cities. And we'll need every ounce of that innovative and entrepreneurial spirit, because the challenges and threats that we face are very real and very pressing. A sluggish economy, a hostile and dysfunctional state, and serious questions about the means and costs of the delivery of local government services all dictate that we keep our head on a swivel and that we work at multiple levels to address the problems that we face. We will focus on growing new revenues through judicious economic development and sustainable, well-managed growth, and at the same time we will focus on controlling costs. We will continue to operate and offer the highest level of community services to maintain a very high and enviable quality of life for our residents here in Glendale, and at the same time challenge the creativity and the resourcefulness of our staff. All that said, I want to make it very clear that I am very happy to be here back part of the Glendale community. My wife and I fell in love at the Galleria. Our first apartment was over on Sinclair, just up the street from the high school. And even when we lived in Mount Washington for a number of years, Glendale is where we shopped and ate and played. This is a wonderful community whose strength lies in its diversity. Truly, there is a world in Glendale, and Glendale has established its place in this world. I am obliged to introduce you to some very key people in my life, my family. With me tonight are my mom and my dad, Ray and Delia Ochoa, who are proof to me that hard work and character and family are the most telling determining factors in building a positive and productive life. Also with me are my pride and joy, my son and daughter Nicolas and Tessia, and finally the one person who I need to make sense out of everything in this life, my beautiful wife Sophia. Madam Mayor and City Council, I thank you. And I look forward to serving with you and for you to take this amazing place and even make it more special. Thank you so very much for this honor and this opportunity.
Thank you. And before you leave, I know that you're going to a council meeting in Monrovia.
Yes,
but
ma'am.
we have a little ritual that we do here, and you're obliged to now wear this for the rest of your life.
This isn't the tattoo that Jim told me about.
It's actually, no, it's even better. City pin.
Outstanding. I will close simply by saying that I have a council meeting in my soon-to-be former city. As Jim well knows, because he managed there many years ago, it's a very special place, and I would not ever consider leaving there or the people that I work with were it not for the amazing opportunity to be here in Glendale. The people, the management team, and certainly you as the policymakers, I look forward to that opportunity. And I hope to validate your confidence in my abilities and make you proud. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.